You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Micah Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
Welcome to the WBT. This is Mike Lodge. I'm glad that you've joined me. I don't know where you're at the moment, but here in Palm Beach, got some clouds, got a little bit of rain, got some wind, but it's hot outside. I don't know how it can look so bad outside, but yet still be so hot. Listen, today our conversation is going to be about thinking about we can do better to make our businesses better. I'll be right back.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
I think I've told you before that I love coffee. I love to go into my office, get a cup of coffee, sit down, start reviewing the news, see what's happening out there, seeing what's happening in the markets, and then doing my meditation and updating my journal for the day. I really love the morning hours because that is the time where I'm able to really think and really get my mind kind of cluttered of everything that happened yesterday and focus on what needs to happen today. Mornings are so important to me. One of the things that I was thinking about this morning as I was writing in my journal is, and I saw a really good article about this too, is that we in business, sometimes we are so bombarded with compliance issues, right? It's coming at us every single day. What we haven't done, what we should do, everything. But then there are things regarding our business that we really need to really think about. And there's a really good article that kind of listed 4 items that we, as small businesses, should be thinking about. The number one, the first step that they suggested to do is access your hypocrisy. And they go on to say that great leaders need to worry less about looking good and focus more energy on achieving primary goals. Outline your biggest priorities and their intended impact, and then examine where you are and where your team is at and where you're spending the bulk of your time. And that's so true because I know being in business is kind of like this ego thing, right? We're always afraid of what we're going to look at. And we think about it a lot. Well, if I do this, well, how are people going to look? How are they going to look at me as a leader? Well, sometimes we need to forget that, put the ego aside. Let me tell you, I have no ego. My ego has been beaten down over 30 plus some years of being in private practice. My ego is gone. If I have an ego, I hope somebody shows it to me because my ego is gone. Because I'm always focusing on what my weaknesses are and how I need to improve it, or find someone who knows what they're doing with that particular weakness and go out there and do it, but also focusing on what my strengths are. And I know what my strengths are. And I've determined that for 2020, that's what I need to focus on. I'm good at compliance issues. Listen, I help companies by the dozens every single day on meeting their compliance goals and their issues. But I also need to look at myself and look at what my strengths are, my strength is, and focus on that strength. And if I have a weakness, maybe that's my ego because I don't think I have any weaknesses at the moment. Well, I take that back. I do have one weakness, marketing. I am the worst marketer ever. I just don't know how to close a deal. I don't know how to get people to sign on the dotted line. Now I can tell you the story, I can tell you everything, but I always take people with me who know how to close the deal. Because I'm very good at telling the story. And I do need to focus maybe then on knowing how to close the deal. I advise other people on how to negotiate. I'm good at that. I'm good at negotiating. I'm good at getting other people to negotiate. You have to be if you are a business mediator, and you're getting these people together who have egos, and you have to get them to come to an agreement based on a little bit of common sense. So negotiations are part of my deal. But it's the closing of the deal of my own business is where I have the toughest part. So I always take people with me who are strong in that, who know how to do that. So we need to assess our hypocrisy and look at our strengths more and focus on our strengths to make our businesses better. I always told my clients, I said, listen, you focus on your strength, I will focus on your weakness. So I will take all of your compliance issues and I will help you manage those. And I've always done it. And it's worked out very well for me because of that is my strength. Step 2, strengthen your strengths. Strengthen your strengths. When you reassess your business, the natural inclination is to focus on your weaknesses. And we do it. I know. I just did it with you. I just told you that my weakness is my marketing skills. That's my weakness. And sometimes I just focused on it with you. But this might not always be the best way forward. Instead, look at what you do best. Is there an opportunity to grow even more by focusing on where you're already succeeding? Oftentimes, your current customers hold the keys to your future growth. When working with companies, big companies, I have found that the customer satisfaction and retention were phenomenal. But our first question wasn't, how can we get more customers like this? Instead, it was, how can we deepen the relationship with existing power users? These companies that can use my strengths. So we need to focus on strengthening our strengths. And listen, there's a whole bunch of ways to do that. And I do it every single morning. The first thing that I do is look at articles that will help me. I have something in my mind and I need something to help me, to kind of guide me along. So I'm looking for that article that can build up that strength that I have, but I need to be better at it. Every single day I look at all kinds of articles on negotiations because I'm good at negotiations, but I need to be better. I need to strengthen my strength. Step 3 that they suggest is then question your weaknesses. Every business has weaknesses, and leaders often feel required to plug those leaks immediately, but that's not always really the right move. You can't do everything at once, and growth can be a byproduct of going narrow on one or two areas of focus. That might mean putting your energy into your strengths, which we just talked about. And while your gut might tell you to also immediately address your weaknesses, take stock first. Take stock first. Take stock first. If they're not preventing your businesses from moving forward, the best use of your time or money for now may be elsewhere. And that's focusing on your strength. And then step 4, take big swings. Founders are tempted to play things safe for fear of failure. It's logical. Business is hard and failure is possible, but think of it this way. Even when you play it safe, the odds are still against you. When you take bigger risks, the odds aren't that much worse, and the rewards are exponentially higher. As long as you are financially responsible, you can take strategically bold steps. That's the best way to give yourself the highest likelihood of success. So sometimes we have to take risks. Sometimes we have to just swing, knowing that the ball could stray to the left or could stray to the right, but at least we swung at it and we took the risk. But I say, good leaders put their ego to the side and focus on what you need to get done. If you're a good leader, you have written down the goals that you want to have set for your business or your company. And you tick them off as you create them into a success. And when you do that, you immediately come up with a new plan of action for the next quarter, for the next year, for the next team that you're going to implement. You always have to have that plan in place, even if it's in your journal. And you're saying, this is what I need to achieve this year, this month, this quarter. Focus on what you are strong at. Focus on what your company is strong at. Maybe there's something that you can add to the side that can even make it stronger. But you need to look at that. What are your strengths? Let other people worry about your weaknesses. Hire people that's all they do is look at weaknesses. But you focus on the strength and the success of your business and your company. It's a constant work. I tell you, when you own a business, it's constant work. Even at night, you have to literally tell your brain to shut off. Stop thinking about what you need to do, because when you sleep, it all comes together in the morning. I'm telling you, I have had the best sleeps, and I've got the answers in the morning and an action plan ready to go. Now, it usually happens in the shower. I look at what I have done over the course of the years that I've been in business. I started my firm in 1984. I have consulted to independent energy companies, cogeneration power plants, shipping container companies, manufacturers, developers of software, publishers of software, real estate, construction, music, entertainment. I have pretty much touched, it seems like I've touched almost every part of industry or business, from healthcare to international shipping. And I've learned so much, and you would be surprised at what you learn in one industry you can apply to another industry. But you got to take some really good notes. You got to put it into your memory banks. Because there are certain things that you have been educated through your work and through your consulting that you can apply to another industry. You'd be surprised. And I started learning that when I was very young. When I was in high school, I went to a private high school that was way out in the country. And to pay for our high school, we had to work in a furniture plant. I upholstered furniture. I put springs in furniture. I dipped furniture. I knew the the line of what had to happen as a piece of furniture went down the line and finally became a product. And you would be surprised how I was able to take that same philosophy of production and put it into taxation. Because at one point in time, we had to put all these tax returns together ourselves. We did them by hand. And so I set up a production line of what this had to happen, that had to get done, this had to be reviewed, this had to be quality controlled, and then finally it went out as a product. So I took my manufacturing knowledge and applied it to my tax production side. So I think that's probably where one of my strengths is that I'm adaptable, and I can come into a company and I can pretty much see what's going on very quickly. Well, sometimes it takes other people a long time to see exactly what's going on. I have been involved in so much, and so many things have happened to me that I now know what the strengths of that company is and what the risks of that company is very, very quickly. And I've been able to adapt that to each one of my clients I've been able to take on as a project. So if you know what your strengths are, that strength can be strengthened some more so that it is beneficial to you in your company or firm. I'm speaking from experience. I have gone through this. I've gone through the ups and downs, the sideways, the forwards, the upside downs of companies. I've even been through the crisis of a company. And all of this experience educates you for the next project or the next client that you take on. Think about it. If you have any questions, send me a text. 818-252-5682. Again, that's 818-252-5682. This is Mike Lodge. I'll be with you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to The WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
This podcast has been produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.